Bam, we're live. Good morning. I quit 5 a.m. after my 30s. Yeah, dude. Wow. You did 5 a.m.? I think I quit 5 a.m. after my first paper route. Paper route? Paper route? I guess 5 a.m. is good for the working class, for the young at heart. I remember someone saying that people who work out first thing in the morning are generally more successful. It's like, dude, I get it, but 5 a.m.? That means you got to get up at what time? I'd have to get up at 4. Holy cow. Loose in the back. Anderson, I see you are in here, but I don't see your. Oh, Anderson. Anderson. Looks like your connection's bad. You had the wheel of death. Can you go somewhere where there's better internet? I think let me text you. I see you have logged in, but your internet might be ass. You've logged in, but your internet might be ass. Image doesn't show. I think you guys are gonna really like this show. I hope you are. If you like rap, you're gonna love this show. This guy's amazing. The whole battle rap scene's amazing. There's a certain sobriety to it, and intensity and like anxiousness and nervousness around it that like you don't see when you see these guys like normally portrayed. Because it's like it's real. It's a performance. It's all on the line. You can't forget your lyrics. You can't forget your words. The crowd is like right on you. People are touching you when you do well or bad. People are shoving you. It's cool. This is really cool. I don't know if this guy Seema, I don't know if this guy freestyles. It's interesting. We'll get into all that, but when I was doing the research on him, he basically was saying that he prefers the scripted, but then when you see him battle people, he responds to some of the stuff they say, which means that he must be freestyling. I got some video I'll pull up. We'll ask him. He's been doing it for 12 years. I think he's 32. That's weird. Okay, I'll unplug and try again. Okay. I'm going to kick him from the studio and see. Oh, are you on Chrome? Maybe he's not on Chrome. Are you on Chrome or an iPhone? Definitely very serious about his craft. I was over at his Instagram account. The name is Anderson Burrus. Burrus. I wonder if this guy's a Jew. He's got the overachiever qualities of a Jew, but he's basically dabbles in all things internet, which is cool as shit. He doesn't just do the rap battles, but he's got some skits and music and like this. Here, I'll play this for you.
Good morning, it's Wayne Brady. Just the morning.
When I saw that, I'm like, oh, this guy's serious as shit. I wonder if Hiller has a room like that in his house. All the green screens and
Shout out to just let you know that I'm a huge fan. And if there's any way to collaborate in the future, I would love to look for that.
I feel like when I walk into the booth, I feel like there ain't nothing I can do. I feel like
Burrus is putting in the time. The rap battles are crazy. I'll let him talk about it. There must be massive preparation that goes into these things.
You are bald and disgusting, and everyone knows it. If you went through chemo, nobody would notice. Shampoo, conditioner left on the counter. You only use soap when you're taking a shower. It's gross. It's gross. Girls everywhere getting turned off. Ew. You were so bald, and it's your fault. You're
not nice, Anderson. There's some ruthless shit. Yeah, it's good. I can't wait to have him on. Let's see if he can get his internet figured out. We had double booked him last week. I can't remember who did we book him with. Maybe the same time we booked him with Kerstetter, because we had booked him before the games, and then the day rolled around and it was like, oh shit. And during the games, our schedule got a little a little whack. Okay, I see you again. But no camera. Interesting. I wonder if he can hear me. Hey, Anderson, nope. Spinning wheel of death. I'm on Chrome on a desktop. It doesn't work. Okay. Yeah. You have the wheel of death from bad internet. Weird. That's really weird. How come it feels more forced? I'll ask him. How come it feels more forced, like Eminem feels more natural? Maybe because it's just it's the art form. It's the nature of doing it live and battling versus in the studio and doing 3,000 takes. With all sorts of audio effects, music, all of that shit. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why. I mean, there's a couple of crazy battles I saw him do where the guy he's going up against forgets his lines. If you head on over to YouTube to Anderson Burrus's account, you can watch him battle people. It's kind of addictive. It's weird. Usually I watch that shit when I'm researching people at like 1.5 or even 2.0. But this guy yesterday I spent way too much time watching rap battles. And there's a little bit of like anxiousness and anxiety to it. It's quite the scene. This first clip, I'm gonna play a clip right when he comes on here. That's pretty crazy. It looks even staged. It looks fake. I can't even believe this is real. Yo!
Hey man, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, good. Oh yeah, and now your picture's clear as shit. I expected it to be horrible. You were getting this. I use this software called StreamYard, and usually when I see that wheel of death, it means there's like a bandwidth issue. But I mean, now it looks great.
Yeah, well, I have to use my phone now. I'm so annoyed because I have like a whole streaming setup, and I'm not sure why it's not working for me right now. But yeah, does this work? Can you hear me all right?
I can. I totally get that. The annoyance. Hey, because it does look like you got a lot of fancy equipment as I dug through your Instagram account. Did you see the gear? Did you see the gear at the bottom when you logged in?
Yeah. Which one specifically?
Like if you go into StreamYard, on the very bottom, you'll see a bunch of icons, and then there's a gear that's second from the right.
Let's see. It's like the settings thing.
Yeah, and then when you click it, there's one that says camera.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you just didn't pick the right camera.
No, I mean I can see like my screen and stuff. Maybe if I lower drop down to 480 resolution. I wonder if that would work if I just try it
But
like
now your shit's
this.
good, Anderson. Now your shit's
Yeah.
like
Okay,
it's
cool.
yeah, it's kind of crazy because usually if it doesn't work on the computer, the phone's not much better. But you're crisp.
Yeah. All right, great. Yeah, I hate that all the all the equipment I have in here, and I have to resort to the phone. But yeah, all right, cool. Well, I'm glad. Sorry for that delay.
Not a big
But
deal.
yeah, cool.
Hey, how many podcasts have you done? I saw the podcast where the guy came to your house with the helmet.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was years ago. Not a lot. I did one about 2 weeks ago. For some guy's channel, but I don't do these things a lot, so I'm happy to be here.
Okay, cool. Because usually when someone comes on, I'll go and I'll start scouring and watching all their podcasts. I'm like, how has this guy not been on more podcasts?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, battle rap's a really niche thing, and so I just kind of started doing numbers about 2 years ago, and so yeah, I think it's kind of a newer thing that people aren't really familiar with, and so I love getting on these podcasts and talking about battle rap and stuff, and so yeah, I'm happy to always do this stuff.
What city are you in? You're in Atlanta?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
That's right. I knew that. And as soon as I hear rap, I just think Atlanta. And are you Jewish?
No,
No. Okay.
no,
I just figured overachieving young Jew. Like the Beastie Boys were Jewish, right?
Yeah.
Were the Beastie Boys Jewish?
they were, yeah.
Okay. All right. Wipe that off. Oh, what are you? What's your ethnicity?
Just white. I mean, my mom's white, my dad's Caucasian. Just the, like, Just the most boring, bland, vanilla. Uh, yeah, we haven't even done like an ancestry test. That's how boring and white I know I am. Yeah, just Southern Baptist. That's our ethnicity.
And how tall are you?
6'4".
And a 15 and a half.
I mean, I would, yeah. Oh, shoe size. Yes,
Yes.
shoe size. Yes, yes, yeah, definitely. Yep. That's where'd you find that information?
Brother, I mean, I'm 1/10 as qualified when researching people after watching you battle rap. I suck compared to you. But
Okay.
man, give me the shoe. Give me the
Oh
shoe.
yeah,
Come on, give me the shoe.
yeah.
15 and a half. That's crazy. I got a friend who's like a 14 or 15. And in the business that I'm in, I've for some reason I have access to a lot of shoes because I'm in the fitness space. And so like free shoes pop up all the time. And I always try to get him a pair of shoes because I know how hard it is. I'm like, got a size 15. People are like, where that? I'm like, no, I got this friend. But one time, Reebok's like, yeah, we can do that. And I'm like, well, do you have it? And they're like, no, we'll take a size 14 and we put it in a stretcher. And they put it in
Really?
this, yeah, and they put it in this machine and they crank on it. And they're like, it takes, a couple weeks or a month. I can't remember the time duration, but they actually stretch the shoe. They put it in, they put something inside the shoe and crank it. You know what I mean?
That's
And
interesting.
like one of those Chinese split machines that like split someone in half. And they do
Yeah,
that to the shoe. And then they sent it to me. And then, yeah, it turned them into 15s.
that's crazy. That's fascinating. Yeah, I'm 15 and a half, and so every single shoe that I wear, I got to either choose is going to be a little bit too tight or a little bit too big. And so yeah, it's definitely it's a heavy cross to bear, but yeah, I get through it. All my shoes look terrible. They're all 10 years old. That's because you just stumble upon a 15 in the wild. Like I have to buy this, and so yeah, it's rough.
Do they when you say too small or too big, meaning you're either always in a 15 or a 16?
Yeah, they just really don't have 15 and a halves, which makes sense. I mean, because there's like probably 1,000 people, like in the in the country with the size 15 shoe. So it makes sense that they don't have the 15 and a half. But yeah,
I just typed into Google what percentage of people are size 15 shoe. The exact percentage of people wearing a size 15 shoe is not readily available. Oh, come on. Because I'm 5'5", and I was looking at the stats of like what happens. It's like I'm like in 12% of the population. But when you drop to 5'4", because it's kind of trippy when I see someone who's shorter than me, I'll be
Mhm.
like, you know what I mean? Like you probably walk into a room and you're like, oh, there's a dude taller than me.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
I see someone shorter than me, I'm like, what the fuck? What happened to you? You know what I mean? Like I'm like, it's
funny,
crazy. All right, yeah, it's gotta be like less than 1%
probably.
for size 15. All right, it's too bad you don't have a big screen, but I'm gonna play this anyway.
Okay.
Of the 4 battle raps I watched of yours yesterday, you absolutely destroyed this guy,
Okay.
Danny Myers. Well, I really felt bad for the guy in Nova Scotia. You
Yeah,
mur
thesaurus.
you you murdered him. Um, this was bad because you did this in front of his friends, which and it looks like you're in hostile territory. Where are you, and where are you?
Oh, it's funny you say that because I was actually in Raleigh. This is the first battle I've taken in Raleigh, in my hometown in like 8 years. So it's actually the opposite. Like he's from the West Coast, and so uh, granted, I didn't know a ton of these people, but it was definitely way more. I'm used to battling outside of the country, and so to be able to battle like in 30 minutes away from my apartment was really cool. So it was pretty. It was definitely not hostile territory. It was kind of neutral, but I definitely had more people in the building for me than he had for him.
And there's some girl to the left of you the whole time that's like pushing you and tugging on you and screaming
Yeah,
at you.
yeah. The
Is that?
comics ate her up.
Oh, really? I liked her.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah,
I'm not like your reaction to her. Like you didn't even react to her. Like you're rapping and she's shoving you from the back and you're still going. But she was shoving you from the back because she liked you, right? She was like,
yeah, yeah. No, no. She yeah, her name's Mosca, and she's a rapper from the area. So like we've known each other for like 8 or 9 years, and so yeah, she's just another rapper. She's really good, and she was also on the card that this was took place on, and no, yeah, she's really cool. I didn't notice during the battle how much she was reacting, and even when I was editing the battle afterwards, I didn't really pay much attention to it. But man, when it dropped, that was 50% of comments were people either hating her or finding it funny. And so I thought that was really interesting. I guess I tuned it out after a
I
while.
loved her. I loved
Yeah,
her. I like it
you
when the fans reach in and touch you guys, like, and are high-fiving you guys and, like, I like all that.
you definitely. I'd much rather prefer that extreme versus no one reacting. That is the worst. And so I'd much rather have people be on the edge of being annoying than just no one reacting, because that does suck.
And by the way, there's a component, a theme around, um, Anderson, Burrus, on the streets known as Anderson, that is, well known, which is interesting because a lot of the rappers talk about it, and anywhere you look about you, is that whenever you go somewhere to rap, the filming of it is very important to you. And this
Mhm.
setting is unreal. Like this looks staged. This looks like a skit, even. You just got all the iconic looking, like, black dudes from the fucking 80s and 90s, boys in the hood look. You're so pale and white there. You got the hoodie. I mean, the whole thing, it's brilliant, dude.
Yeah, this event was actually a you have to wear black, like a black outfit to get in, and so it looks really
Oh.
cool on camera. And yeah, when they pitched it, I was a little bit against it because it just seemed like another barrier to make people not get in. But on camera, it looks really cool, and I'm glad we did that for this event.
Yeah, whose idea was that, the dress code?
It was the league owners. They wanted to do something like that, and yeah, I think it was really good. I'm the guy that for almost all my battles, I want to be in charge of the filming. 'Cause that's like what I do is just videography, video editing, and I've had enough battles coming up that just I spend so much time preparing that when the actual footage drops and I'm not in charge of it, it's shot by people who don't really care. They're doing this for a paycheck. They own a camera, they come out and they just film this stuff, not really understanding or appreciating that this took 30 to 40 hours of nonstop writing and preparing and obsessing over. And then if the final product just it looks terrible or it sounds terrible, it's a real disservice to the work that like we as battle rappers do. And so I want to have I've kind of an OCD tendency when it comes to stuff like this. So I really obsess over the quality, which is why ironically I hate that the camera and stuff didn't work. Because like I got all the gear and stuff, but I am a real stickler for video quality and audio quality.
And the reason why is because you want to take this performance and all the effort that's put in preparation and continue to leverage it. You don't want it to be one and done. You want to be able to use this and leverage it for the future, like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. Because people that don't know battle rap, they don't know the leagues. The leagues don't matter to them. If you're in battle rap, the league you're on is really important because that's like, oh, you made it on this league. This is big. But the average person doesn't know the difference between the leagues. They can only tell this is a big deal based on the quality of footage. You could be on the biggest league in the world, but if the footage looks terrible, people are going to assume this is kind of just like a backyard battle rap
Mm,
thing. But if it
mm.
looks really professional, then people think, oh, this is like a real big thing. 'Cause I feel like most battle rappers we're constantly faced with whenever that people find out this is what we do, they're always like, that's like a real thing. Like you can that's like an actual industry. And it's like, yeah, it is. And it's important for that to be taken seriously. And most people realize it's serious when they see the high level of production that goes into it.
Yeah, what's interesting too, though, is it's not over polished. It still is
Hmm.
gritty and feels impromptu. One of the things that I learned early on in filmmaking was basically if the audio is king. Like
Yeah.
you have to have audio. People will not tolerate bad audio, and that's another thing. All of these clips and things you have all over the place, audio is impeccable.
Yes, I do everything myself. The one thing I've started doing that I've sent to other people is I will take the audio from my battle and send it to a professional audio
Oh.
engineer and have them mix the audio for the battle because I want to get all those. I want the levels consistent. Like I do audio engineering and stuff for music for myself, but I've kind of learned there's like levels to this, and I want the best possible audio quality from the battles because you're absolutely right. Video is important, but audio is everything.
What are you using for mics in general? Are you just I didn't see clip-ons, people.
Yeah, so I actually use just this right here. It's just like just an average. Basically, I treat it like a boom mic where I'll hang it up above us.
Oh, no
And
shit, dude, it's so good
yeah,
for that.
Yeah, because with clip-on mics, they're good occasionally, but the problem is you want to get the whole room. You want to get
Yeah.
the reaction is so important for the audience. It's just like stand-up comedy. You want to get that full feeling that you are in this room. And so if you have just a clip-on mic, if you can't really get the people in the back that are reacting, you want this to feel very authentic. And like you're saying, you don't want it to be over polished. You want it to feel natural, but you want to be able to feel like you're actually there in the room.
Do you have someone monitoring the audio while you're going?
No, it's just me. I will typically have to. It's the most stressful part of the battle. Probably is getting to the venue and trying to find the most qualified person to just get behind my camera when I have to battle, and just be like, just show them how I'm doing it, and be like, just don't do too much. Just kind of keep the cameras moving a little bit, and just try to keep me in the frame. Don't be a hero. Don't try to do this new,
Yeah.
just
Don't
just
get a close up
just
of shit coming out of my mouth.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You lose
Don't
yourself.
get creative. Just do the bare minimum, and I can, yeah. And so, it's typically just like me setting everything up, and but by the time I'm battling, I would have filmed 3 or 4 or 5 battles by that point, so I can kind of get a sense of like this audio sounds good. Everything should be good for my battle.
Hey, way back in the day, when people were shooting on tapes, I would get jobs off of Craigslist, and I found a job on Craigslist to edit porn for this guy in Oakland.
Mhm.
And so I go over to his house, and he gives me this shoebox full of tapes, and I sit down for 2 days, and I edit his porn, and I bring it back to him. He's like, "No, dude, I told you, no creativity, just wide,
Oh,
long, single
interesting.
shot." And after 2 days, I was like, "Fuck this."
That's funny.
Yeah, he did.
That's
I was
so
like
interesting.
building stories and writing stuff on the screen, and he's like, "Nah, dude, just me, just railing this chick so people can jerk off to it. That's it."
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's an interesting parallel. But I think you're absolutely right. You just want you don't want to if the editing is distracting, then you're doing a bad job. Even if it's like amazing editing, good
Right.
editing is stuff you don't notice.
Hey, and the reason why that mic also that single mic is working, I would be terrified that the ambient sound would drown out the rapping, but it never did in any of them. I can't believe you're
Mhm.
just using a single mic like that. But, when you are, rapping against someone like Danny Myers, when he moves, there's a slight shift in the audio, which lets you know also he's moving. Do you know what I mean? It's syncing with
Yeah,
your brain, so it's kinda cool. You know what I mean? It never goes so low that he's gone, but you get it that he's moving. He's facing the audience. It's got one, there's, like, just slight subtleties to the audio that your brain is, like, comprehending as, "Okay, he's moving." It's cool.
yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate that you can appreciate that stuff because that's a ton of work after the fact, and I put a lot of work into that, and so I'm happy that you're able to notice that. Yeah, you
Hey
got the URL. You got the app pulled up. Wow, man, this is impressive.
hey, thank you. Hey, so this guy Danny Myers, I'm about to show this clip, where you, go so hard. I was like, "Ooh, I didn't expect that from you." Is this, why is he number 4? Is it just you make some jokes, and it's known that he does a lot of battle raps. Is that why he's so high because of his, um, consistency, that he's out there so much? Whereas you're considered, if I did my research right, as someone who doesn't do a lot of battle raps, and I don't see your name on this list, although when you go to artists, there you are number 3. So clearly they love you and they see you're a draw, but then when you go to the leaderboard, you're nowhere in sight.
Yeah, well, that artist thing is just in alphabetical order, so I'm number 3
Oh,
for that
oh,
reason.
oh, oh, shit. All
But
right.
I think I am like ranked like 30 or something as far as like so I think I'm 5 and I'm undefeated on that app. That is only for URL battles, and URL is like the NBA of battle rap. It's like the number one league. And Danny Myers is considered like a legend in battle rap. He battles a lot, but he's really, really good. It's just tough. The reason I don't battle a lot is because a lot of people don't want to battle me because I am hard to write for. I'm pretty boring. Versus Danny Myers, he has 10 kids. That is for someone like me that likes to do angles. That's like my wet dream when it comes to like an opponent. I love people who have just interesting things like that I can kind of rip apart because in my mind I'm like I can just write about this fact about you. I would hate to battle myself because I'm just pretty boring. There's not really many skeletons in my closet, um, and it's just hard to write 3 rounds about me because I'm just boring. And so when it comes to Danny battling me, he was kind of fighting an uphill battle because there's just not much you can say about me. Versus I can say this stuff about you, and it's objectively true, and I'm gonna make it really funny. And so he had to kind of really just pull from just kind of bizarre, kind of make up some stuff about me, and it's cool. It's I'm a tough person to write for, so that's why I think that battle turned out the way it did. But generally, if Danny has an opponent that like is has some stuff that he can rap about, he's really really good. And so that was not the best Danny Myers, but I think it was still really good.
All right, I'm sweating. My heart started racing. 'Cause here we go. Here's my debut. Danny Myers, you're a wet dream. You have so many shortcomings. I'm going to tear you apart at the seams.
Okay, yeah, great. Yeah,
I'm glad I got
shortcomings could
that
be
out.
a play on words too. That was good.
There we go.
Fire.
Thank you. Thank you. But I just pulled it from what you're saying. So you like the guy with a ton of shortcomings, a lot of
Yeah.
yeah, okay. How was, man, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do that. And one more thing that you said in this interview, which I thought was awesome, is the audience is going off of self-belief. So not, and
Mm.
that's like even though it's maybe a nuance, it's huge in terms of the fact that even if your rap isn't, thank you, Seema, damn Sevi, loved it, thank you, thank you. I mean, I always wanted to be a rapper. You know what the coolest thing about the woke movement was or is? Ever since I've been a little kid, UTFO, Curtis Blow, Rodney O, and Joe Cooley, all the guys, Run DMC. I always wanted to be black, and then a few years ago, I realized like I am black. Like I just have to I am black. Like I'm black.
You
Yeah.
can be whatever you want to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm black. Like you're a furry, I'm black. And so I was
Yeah.
just like, God, I didn't think I would ever find anything positive about the professional victim movement. But
Yeah.
fuck it. I'm black. Um, okay, let me play this. This is so good. This is crazy. Thank you, Seema. That means a lot to me. You don't even know that you like that. That was good. So going back to the confidence thing. So that is something that you have that's incredible. You have insane confidence up there, but you also have great lyrics and you're obviously well prepared. Whereas I honestly thought Danny was horrible.
Mm.
I was a little embarrassed for him. Because and then you picked up on it, like he wasn't even making sense to me. Like he wasn't landing any it's like when my wife hits me, like she hits me and then she pulls back at the last minute. I'm like, dude, you suck. Like follow through, try to punch a hole in me. And yeah, okay, here we go. But he does have the confidence. He does all the yelling and strutting. He's got the confidence. So I'm wondering if people are duped by that. Okay, here we go.
Sick, so we knew you were a joke. He learned his daughter was a stripper and he didn't know how to cope. She films herself on OnlyFans with dildos down her throat. At least someone in your family can perform without a choke.
You start this bit by saying, hey, it's not cool to rip on people's kids. That's a rule in battle rap. And then you just destroy his fucking family and him as a father. When you I want to play that one more time. Let's go back even a little bit further. Here we go. Play it one more time.
Your kid should have taught you that lesson, but you don't learn from your mistakes. When you forgot your bars against Real Sick, that's when we knew you were a joke. He learned his daughter was a stripper and he didn't know how to cope. He films herself on OnlyFans with dildos down her throat. At least someone in your family can perform without a choke.
Someone yells, "What the fuck?" Yeah, you're right. And I'm looking at look at these guys looking at you. This guy has to put his head down over here. This guy's like, "Oh shit, is there going to be a fight?" The guy with the chain. Are you, when you write that, are you like, did that one almost not make it? You're like, I don't know about the dildo down his daughter's throat.
It did, only because I like to try to be clean for the most part. I don't cuss, and I don't really go sexual with stuff. But and also I have a real tight rule where it comes to when you make fun of someone's family, you have to always tie it back to insulting the person. So like I can't say, your daughter's a slut and she sucks. I have to say, like, I have to tie it into your daughter's a slut, but that's not why I'm attacking her. I'm attacking her because that's a reflection on you, and tying it into like you choke in your battles, and then she, shoves dildos in her throat, and at least she doesn't choke. And like, that's just kind of like a way of attacking him while kind of making her, kind of the punchline. I think it's different though if I'm just attacking her for being a slut and saying like your daughter's a slut and that's it. So like I have to kind of have like a certain type of code that it has to meet. But when I kind of realized like I was comfortable saying that, yeah, that's absolutely going in there. I want to find that line between it. It is shocking, but I think I can sleep comfortable at night knowing like I don't think I crossed the line there personally.
Did anyone confront you with that afterwards?
No, I mean it's battle rap. I've had horrible things said to me. I've said horrible things to people, and at this point, at this level in battle rap, we're all coworkers. At the end of the day, it's kind of like wrestling, where like I like all these guys for the most part, and you kind of know what you're signing up for going in there. And if you get it really upset, then that's a clear sign for future opponents. Oh, this is a big trigger for this guy. I'm going to bring this up time and time again. And you're kind of asking for this to constantly be brought up. And so I think as a battler, the smartest play to do is to just act unbothered by it. And Danny does a great job with that. Danny is a great sport. A lot of battlers do not let you talk about their kids. I think the joke here though is that you have so many that like you kind of lost that ability. Like you had 10 is just ridiculous. And so
What's
I
ridiculous?
think
What's
it's
ridiculous, Anderson?
just 10 kids. 10
Oh,
kids
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
is too much. If you had 3, that's fine. But
yeah.
after 10, it's just like, dude, like everyone can agree that's too many kids. And so I think that it's kind of a joke in and of itself. So I feel fine doing that personally. I definitely see people, if you get upset by that, I think that's valid too. But I don't really care.
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And then you also tie it in the beginning, you start those lyrics with reminding him of how he forgot lyrics in a
Hmm.
rap battle, which has got to be the worst thing that can happen to you up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
do when you forget?
I don't forget. Knock on wood, that's never happened to me. Because I obsessively prepare, and I don't take battles every week. And so when I have a battle, what I will do is I'll grab a Rubik's cube, and I will, once I have my stuff kind of memorized, I will start solving a Rubik's cube while I'm wrapping my rounds, because I feel like there's different levels of memorization. There's a level where you can recite like a speech or something in your house where you've rehearsed this a bunch of times, but it's not really in your brain. As soon as you leave the comfort of your house and you're in front of people, all this anxiety, adrenaline, that's going to mess with your ability to recall stuff. You have to have this stuff so locked in that you can recall it under any circumstance. And so I think that if I can solve a Rubik's cube while I'm going through my material, I know it's locked in to the point where like I can kind of I won't mess up. And not to say that that can't happen at depth. You can, your brain can just turn off for a second, and I've seen it happen to people that are really prepared. Thankfully, it's not happened to me yet. It might, and if that happens, it just sucks, and you got to just kind of try to get it back. But it is a terrible feeling, and I try to do everything to prevent that from happening.
When you're going against someone and they forget their shtick like Paul did in Nova Scotia, and he wasn't bad either. I thought he was better than
Mhm.
Danny Myers when he was going, but he just completely falling apart, and you were destroying him. Um, do you start to empathize with that and feel bad for him at all? And do you have to avoid doing that?
Yeah, there's a really interesting kind of wave of emotion. The first time someone chokes, you're kind of relieved because you're thinking, I definitely won this round, and this will probably give me the battle. Like I'll probably win this battle now. However, for Thesaurus, the guy I was battling in Nova Scotia, he choked after the first time. I was like, okay, cool, I've kind of won this battle. This is good. The second time though, it becomes okay. Now you're messing up this footage, and then like when you
Oh
choke
shit! Oh
when
shit!
you choke so much, I'm going, this is super disrespectful to me because
Mm.
I put a lot of work into this. and you clearly thought you could come in here and not take this very seriously. And that's been a kind of a theme that I've run into with a lot of opponents where, like, yeah, I'll smoke them, but I'll beat them so bad that I'll get mad that they didn't realize, like, they just didn't think I'm like a threat and that they could take me pretty lightly. And I just keep on going, like, how many people do I have to do this to for people to realize, like, you can't do this with me. And so yeah, like both Thesaurus and Danny had very similar mannerisms before we battled. I could tell they were nervous and I could tell they were just not that prepared. And they both said something to me to the effect of, like, hey, kind of take it easy on me. Remember, like, we're just kind of having fun. And I'm like, oh no, man, no, like, I'm here to kill
Oh.
you. Like, this is not what this is. Like, I'm not someone that's coming here. Like, this is like this is what I do. This is like I'm a professional at this, and I have a large audience and a real I think a lot of pride in what I do. And, like, no, I'm not. This is not. I'm not doing this for a check. Like, I don't get paid much for this at all. I make all my money on the back end. Like, the money I make comes from me smoking you and it getting a lot of views and a lot of traction. Like, that's how I make my money. And all these other guys make their money by just showing up and battling, and they don't really care what happens afterwards. And for me, it's the exact opposite. So, yeah.
Uh, he at the 5-minute mark. Let me see if I can find this. Let's just try right here. I think it's right here. He invokes the crowd, and then I want to go back and talk to you about the nervous energy. But here we go. Check this out.
Your bitch, and I didn't use it. I am the fucking government. We didn't use it. Now I got 11, motherfucker. Now I got 11. Hey. First of all, before I start rapping shit, none. Yeah. How did Anderson react when you told him this was an all-black event?
He says he's asked someone in the crowd. I'm guessing it's the person who's putting on the event. Hey, Jack, how did he feel when you told him this was an all-black event? Was that really an all-black? Oh, all-black meaning you wear all black.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get that before I knew that. Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of a play on words there. And I think that was a really funny opening angle. But just that screaming and that, like, "Yeah, I am the goat," that is something that you can't really teach that. And I think that's an intangible quality that, like, Danny has, that is just like, it's something I can't do what he's doing there. And it might not take a lot of preparation, but it does take a lot of like, battle rap is writing and it's the craft of the stuff, but there is a lot of performance elements there too that you have to have. And some battlers are much more performance than they are the actual lyrics. And some people really prefer the performance over the lyrics. I'm someone that prefers lyrics over performance, but they're both really important. And Danny has that performance down to a T, where he's kind of not really saying anything most of the battle, but he sells it so well that it's like, yeah, I can't get mad at someone for reacting to it, because it does just kind of hype you up, especially in the room.
What's crazy about that though, is that when you have someone like Conor McGregor saying he's the greatest ever, I don't know if you watch fighting, and then in the first round, he first 20 seconds of the fight, he goes out there and knocks out Jose Aldo, the greatest lightweight ever to fight ever, and he knocks him out with one punch, and he says he's the greatest. Whether you hate him or love him, you're like, holy shit, that guy backed up his shit. The problem with this guy, Danny Myers, I don't know him, but you can't say if you say you're the GOAT and then you perform like he did, there's like a disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. I just thought it didn't work. I thought that even that line that he says where he slept with your girlfriend and didn't use a condom and now he has 11 kids, like, that could have been great, but it just seems so forced.
Yeah, I mean, it was a rebuttal, so, like, he did, like, he's fantastic at coming up with stuff on the spot, um, and selling it. Again, it's all about the selling, and he's also been battling for 15 years at this point, and so a lot of this, when people like that come to Raleigh and battle, a lot of people in that crowd have been watching him for 15 years but have never seen him in person. So there's a big element of, I can't believe I'm seeing this guy that I grew up watching, and there's kind of this celebrity status that he's earned, that people just get really excited and they kind of react to whatever, because it's like, I can't believe I'm here watching one of these things live. And I don't really have that because I've been doing this. I've been doing this for about 10 or about 12 years now. Um, but I don't have that kind of prestige that he has, and he's earned that. And so, to a degree, he's earned kind of the ability to do that stuff. But I think that when it comes to like newer fans or someone like you that kind of just sees this stuff, you're not going to win those people over because they have no nostalgic tie to you.
Right.
And so
Right.
that's kind of where the trade off of that comes from.
Right. It would be like if I went somewhere and I got to see Michael Jordan just shoot around, and I wouldn't care if he
Hmm.
missed them because I'd be like, "Holy shit, there's Michael Jordan." But if someone's like,
Exactly.
"Hey, this is the greatest basketball player ever," and I see him shooting and he's missing or getting dunked on, I'll be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, exactly. That's how it is.
Um, uh, what was that scene like? How many people are there? Are you completely surrounded?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's probably it's probably over 100 people in that small venue. So we packed the place out really well.
That's a when you
And
say venue, that looks like it's someone's house.
yeah, it's like a restaurant. Yeah, I say
Okay,
venue very
okay.
loosely. Um, yeah, yeah, and so small buildings like that are ideal because in a room like that, 100 people feels like 500. But if you had a bigger space, that 100 would feel like you know the 50. It would feel very empty. But if you had we're all kind of packed in, even from a audio standpoint, just the audio bouncing off each other's, like each person, it's kind of like the ideal environment for me personally to rap in. I love small spaces like that.
Hey, in the CrossFit world where I live, all of the fans are also practitioners. Or if you go to a surf competition, all the practitioners, all the viewers, fans are also practitioners. When I mean
Mm.
all, I mean, the vast majority. You go to someone who's watching a bass fishing show at 3 in the morning on ESPN. They're also all practitioners. Are these 100 people in here all practitioners, or the vast majority of them? They're all, rap at bare minimum. They rap in the shower.
Yeah, that's a great observation. Yeah, I would say most of them probably definitely have an appreciation for it, and have done it themselves. I mean, I have friends that are legitimate battle rap fans that don't rap at all. I think there's a real appreciation for the lyricism. Like if you're just a rap fan that loves lyrics and stuff, this is the ultimate lyrical space. And so I definitely have people that just love it for that. But I think yeah, in that building, if you're coming out to a battle rap event, most people probably rap.
Uh, when you get out there, by the way, setting up the camera, people have no idea. Setting up the cameras while then preparing to go on is just insane. It's just too much. You're just doing too much shit. Kudos to you. When you go out there, how bad, how intense does the anxiety get? Like feet start tingling, tip of penis starts tingling, you got to go pee. You start picturing yourself running to your car. Like how intense is it before the first bars come out of your mouth?
It really depends on the opponent and how confident I feel. Because I think the biggest nervousness is just not being, you have no idea what they're going to say to you. You have no idea if they're just going to tear the roof off the place. And that is just really nerve wracking. But over the years, it doesn't become easy. I've talked to people who have been in battle rap for 20 years, and I always ask them, does it get easier? Like this anxiety we feel, and they're like, it never goes away. And you don't want it to ever go away because if you don't feel that anxiety, you're probably going to get killed because you don't take this. You're not taking this as seriously as you should. For me, I think the anxiety comes from obviously my opponent, but also knowing the amount of time I've spent on this material and all the hours of tweaking the wording, scrapping stuff, rewriting stuff, the month leading up to this, and spending hours a day on it. It only matters for the next 30 minutes is all this will be remembered for. And so if I slip up on a word or just stumble on a bar, it's kind of the hour and a half that it took me to kind of perfect that section is out the window. And so there really is like a fight. It's a thing like we get one shot at this, and it has to turn out well, or else it's kind of been for nothing. Um, and so yeah, it's a lot of anxiety, but you have to. It all basically goes away after the first big reaction you get. When you get that first kind of pop from the crowd, you're kind of like, oh yeah, this material that I've been obsessing over, it's really good because the problem when you're writing stuff like this, it's so funny and it's so good when you first start writing, and then you hit that like 2 weeks before the battle when you've kind of written everything and you are sick of this material and it's not funny, it's terrible, you hate it, you just want to get this over with, and then you tell it to a room of 100 people for the first time, and they love it, and you kind of fall in love with the material all over again, and it helps you kind of deliver it like it's the first time you're saying this stuff, because that's also tough. Delivering this stuff as if you're making it up on the spot, uh, is it's tricky. It's just like stand-up comedy, where you have to kind of sell the improv nature of it, and act like you're excited to say this stuff. And yeah, so once you get that first big reaction, it's kind of it's much easier.
It is fully like stand-up comedy. I
Mhm.
guess the easier part of this than stand-up comedy is, for the most part, from what I see and just the way I appreciate rap, you're kind of always rooting for the rapper, and
Mm.
the crowd is really viscerally responsive in battle rap, meaning like they give you a lot of nods and a lot of affirmation, and it's right there, in your shit. And then I also think something you do that I don't see other people do is when you do the double entendres and the play on words. If the audience doesn't get it, you'll stop and you'll be like, "You see that,
Yeah.
fan?" Like when you made the white. You didn't have to do it this time, but when you made a joke about white fans, more white fans than a black church, and
Yeah.
it took my brain like probably 2 seconds to get that.
Mhm.
But there's sometimes when they don't get it, and you'll stop and be like, "Guys, get that," and
Yeah.
then and that works for you.
Yeah, you gotta
Like,
use
it's
it
funny.
sparingly. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can't make them feel like they're stupid, but I think some points you gotta kinda be like, "No, I need y'all to think about that one." I was like, some stuff I'm so excited about and I'm so proud of, and if it doesn't get a reaction, I feel this like, "No, no, no, that I can't let this moment, because if it doesn't get a reaction, then it's just like I said, it's meaningless." So I'm like, "I have to let y'all get this." And, so yeah, you definitely you got to go in there knowing some stuff that you've written you're happy about is just for you. Like in that exact same battle, I talked about how my opponent is so good with guns, and I was like, I said, when it comes to shooting guns, he's in a different league. He can assemble a piece like Christopher Reeves, and like assemble a piece like a gun together. But also Christopher Reeves played Superman, and the S on his chest is a symbol of peace. And so like he can assemble a piece like Chris. Like that's such a intricate thing that no one is going to get that in the building.
Yeah,
That's
that went over my head, by the way.
yeah.
That one. I heard
Oh,
that and I'm like, "Why, I wonder why you used Christopher Reeves." Yeah, that one went over my
yeah.
head.
It also just kind of rhymes really well, but that's one of those things that I'm like, just for me as a fan of writing, I'm like, no one will get that. That will be a for no one except for me. But you still do that just in the off chance that people can appreciate that type of stuff, because I like inserting stuff like that into the setup to make it more fun to go back and try to catch new things.
Not dumb it down.
Yeah, yeah. You want to find that balance between uh being accessible to not non-battle rap fans, but also you can't let the battle rap fans roll their eyes and find this stuff like Wildin' Out. The show Wildin' Out is it's super popular, and it's a fantastic show, and it's done a lot of great things for a lot of people. But for battle rap fans, we don't really watch it because it's too on the
What's
nose.
the name of the show?
Wildin' Out, it's like it's been on for a long time. It's on like VH1 or something like that. It's kind of like it's mainly a battle rap show, but it's for TV, and so it's a lot of like kind of like you're so fat. It's very obvious on the nose jokes that everyone can get, and battle rap fans typically don't watch it because it's not there's nothing for us to kind of we've kind of heard all that stuff, and it's not interesting from our perspective. So it's finding the way to make like a wow and out easy accessible bar also connect to someone that loves wordplay. And so that's why like the at least someone in your family can perform without a choke. That works because anyone can understand it, but it also has kind of that wordplay that battle rap fans can appreciate. So it's always about finding that balance between getting, both audiences, give them something that they can appreciate.
There was a question in here from Olivia. I don't. Oh, what's Anderson's IQ? Do you know your IQ?
No, I do not. I'm not very smart. I was terrible in school. I took a brain assessment test um, in college, and it found that I'm like very stupid in almost everything. But then when it comes to word association, I'm like in the 98th or 99th percentile, if that's all, like the very top percentile of word association. But like most things like math, most things that are helpful to society, I'm terrible at. And so definitely a little bit of a savant when it comes to just that type of stuff.
In the 12 years you've been doing this, obviously in the presentation you've been innovative, and keep upping the bar. Do you ever do anything like voices or anything that you do or want to do that would be a risk for you? You know what I mean? Like do a thing like where you make a rap about Muppets and then use a really squeaky voice or things like that. I didn't see any of that in your stuff. You're pretty like consistent with how you rap. I've seen the hand gestures kind of evolve and more
Yeah.
passionate and a little more flow in the body. I watched 4 battle raps up until that one Danny Myers a month ago, and you're definitely getting more comfortable and the lyrics are coming out faster and faster. But anything else where you're like, "Oh, I really want to try that, but that's scary as shit."
Yeah, my actual like 9 to 5 job is basically just doing content creation for like a gag gift company, and so a lot of that is just me doing skits, like comedy skits, which is what I've always loved doing comedy. And it's kind of in my wheelhouse, and so I have been trying to do more voices and stuff, and just more characters outside of just kind of a slight parody of myself. And so that's been pretty fun. And also, stand-up comedy is something that I've done a number of times, and I enjoy it. It just is so. It feels like I've been rapping. I've been rapping since I was 15 years old, and I'm 33 now. So I've been doing this for a very very long time. Um, and it feels weird, kind of doing stand-up and feeling like you're kind of going back to level one. But it is really.
Meaning what, Anderson? Meaning you still do comedy, but when you do it rapping, it's harder because of the importance of how the words treat each other in terms of
No,
sounds, or what do you mean
I,
level
I would
one?
I would say that stand-up comedy for me is tougher because you can't
Oh,
have the crutch of rhyming. Like
oh, okay.
rhyming is what I like. That's like I've been rapping forever. So like the extra hurdle of rapping is very easy for me. But and also the expectation in a rap battle is not always to be funny. So when you're funny, it's kind of a surprise. But when you're on stage doing stand-up comedy, I can't rely on the fact that this is a multisyllabic rhyme that's really intricate, that sounds really cool, and also you're not expecting me to be funny. I just have to say the joke, and like the delivery and the wording is everything. And those are delivery is something that, as you were saying, like I'm trying to get more comfortable with doing that. And so yeah, stand-up comedy is something that I do try to push myself to try more and more. uh but it's definitely it's challenging. It's definitely like kind of it's out of my comfort zone to a degree.
It seems like you'd be really good at it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I try. I mean, I'm definitely not like someone that's never been on stage before. It definitely comes naturally to me compared to probably most people. But it just, I don't feel like I'm the best in the room when I do that. Versus battle rap, you kind of have to go in there thinking you're the best. You're. I'm very confident going into a battle rap. But when it comes to like an open mic stand up comedy, it feels more like, ooh, this is rough for me. I leave going, man, that did not go very well. And that doesn't really happen with rap battles.
And like I said, the rap battles have so much feedback. Um,
Hmm.
there's so much feedback for the presenter. When you go into the second round, so people who don't know, all the ones I saw, they're 3-round fights,
Hmm.
or competitions. You go, or the other person goes, and then the other guy goes, and then it says round 2, and there'll be a graphic on the screen, and then it goes round 3. And something I thought was interesting is I didn't see any where they declared a winner. It always just ends. Do you do that on purpose, that you don't show the
Yeah.
winner?
Yeah, because for every battle, you can make the argument the other person won. Like when like the battle
None
was
of the
me and
ones I
Danny.
saw, with you in them, I could make the argument that the other guy won.
Yeah, but a lot of people. Oh, but what's interesting is that a lot of people could. I mean, like when that
Does
I let
anyone
the
think
battle.
Danny Myers beat you? Does anyone think Danny Myers beat
Oh
you?
yeah. Oh, a lot of people. A lot of people. But again, you got to remember these are people that have been watching battle rap for a long time, and they have this kind of Michael Jordan esque you know, and
Right.
also just how like for you, you're saying like the delivery and stuff that Danny was doing doesn't really do it. Like kind of the stuff he was saying didn't really do it for you. A
Yeah.
lot of people would have the same critique of me, where they're saying like he didn't have the same energy and loudness that Danny had. And so for some people, it's as simple as like this dude feels more authentic to what I think battle rap should be. And some people think battle rap should be, dudes on the street corner just showing who's like the better, truer MC and who embodies hip hop more. And uh and that's like fine. That's like a valid thing that you think battle rap should be. I don't think it. To me, it's not that. I think it's something that's it's more. It's more about just kind of the creativity and the writing and finding your character um. So for me, I have a different approach and I evaluate it differently, and that's exactly why doing like declaring a winner almost never goes well. Like there are tournaments, there are things where like we constantly are trying to find a way to make this thing like an objective scoring system, but you can't really do it because like in boxing you have like, oh, that was a hit, and you can literally see the glove hitting the face. For battle rap, you can have a punch and like I might think that punchline completely fell flat, but it shook the room, and so I'm like, well, that did nothing for me, but it clearly did a lot for people in the room. So it's just you can't really have an objective scoring system, and that's why typically we don't do a winner, and people can kind of debate in the comments and can kind of argue, and it makes battle rap more fun because you get to kind of debate with your friends on who you think won. And if you have a really debatable battle, then it's kind of a fun thing to keep the conversation going versus just declaring a winner and kind of settling that debate.
An example of that might be when he says the line about blowing a nut in your girl without a condom. If you're
Mhm.
there present, you might feel the intensity of that. But as the
Yeah,
viewer, you're at home, you're like, man, that was like third grade level delivery. That's like something like, I know you are, but what am I? It's like, dude,
yeah,
like like as the viewer on YouTube, you're just like, God, that was such an easy thing to say, and then you didn't even present it well.
yeah.
It's like you didn't even make me like, and the yelling when you're at home watching, the yelling would be cool if it was once in a while, but because
Mhm.
he stays that intense the whole time, eventually you're like, "Oh, that's just a dog that barks.
Yeah,
That dog has no bite."
yeah, yeah,
You know
and
what I
that's a,
mean?
that's
It's
that's
like
a
if
that's
you're
a that's a
always touch
totally.
like, I'm watching to see when how close you guys get to each other and if you guys touch each other. If the guy's touching you the whole time, I think nothing of it. But if at one point he delivers a really hard line and then he touches you, there's like a, "Oh shit, this is getting
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's different
yeah.
like you said earlier about using things sparingly.
You can't use the same thing over and over again. You can't do just jokes. You can't do just bars. You can't be aggressive the entire time, which I think is probably one of Danny's kind of problems where he'll start at 10 and then there's not really anywhere else to go. So you kind of have to be at 10 the whole time. And that works for some people, but I think it's always more effective to go from, to build it up, then have a loud thing and then kind of go back and just kind of have more of a roller coaster effect versus just being, either all high or all low.
And then in the second round, when it's your turn again, is the anxiety gone or does it come back?
Yeah, I think it feels it's definitely probably better because I think that I think about my material and I'm really confident in it. Like I know this stuff is good, and for me I really have a lot of pride in the stuff that I'm about to say, and that helps with the confidence a lot because I'm like I've run this by people. I've filtered this. I've revised this so many times. To me, this feels like the best version of this material, and if no one else likes it, I'm really happy with it. And like worst case scenario, I just deliver it confidently anyways, because like I know the people at home will probably catch it. And I think my audience is bigger than most battle rappers. So I'm thinking more for the audience at home versus in the
Oh,
building at the
oh,
moment.
oh. Yeah, that's cool. That's an interesting nuance. When you're in that you go first round, then he goes. Are you prepping your second round, or are you listening to him? Are you and by
Mm.
prepping, I mean rehearsing what you've already written because it's all written out ahead of time, right?
Yeah, yeah, for the most
Yeah.
part. Yeah. And yeah, I'll listen to what he's saying and trying to think if there's anything I can say that's kind of like a freestyle rebuttal, like if I can rebuttal any of the stuff he's saying. I typically don't do it because again, I'm really confident in the stuff that I've written. I think that's good enough to, because if you try to rebuttal and it falls flat, you're kind of starting your round off on the wrong foot, and it can be hard to get that confidence back and kind of win the room over. So, rebuttaling like he did with the I didn't use a condom with your girlfriend. That does take a lot of balls to do that, and I think he did it probably every round. It takes a lot of guts to constantly do that, because it's just a trade-off. Like if it doesn't go well, then it sucks. And so when my opponent's rapping, I'll typically just focus on the material I have. I know it, so I don't have to rehearse it in my head. But I will kind of listen to what he's saying and figure out if I can say anything, and if not, I just kind of go into my material.
It's funny. I didn't see this shot until just now. I didn't know that you had a back shot like that. This is a really cool shot too. How many cameras on this shoot?
3.
Okay, that's a pretty ballsy spot to put the camera, and that's a good look at the room also.
Yeah. It breaks the 180 rule or whatever in videography, but I think that stuff like that, I don't really care. I think it looks cool and it shows off the scope of the room.
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't even notice this shot the first time I watched this last night. Okay, so he here in this is, I think this is round 2, and he in his round 1 was talking about parallel universes. And using that concept to try to make fun of you. And up until this point, I was convinced in my head that everything was written. But check out what you do here as a rebuttal.
Well, you probably need to go back a little bit.
I think it's 1350, isn't it?
Yeah. I guess this part works too. Basically, in the first round, he had said, "Do you believe in a parallel universe?" And then the crowd says, "I do." And then he does this thing about the parallel universes. And then in the next round, I say, "Do you believe in a parallel universe?" And the crowd says, "I do." But then I say, like, "I do not care," and then just go into attacking his parallel universe scheme. So yeah, you can play from here. That's basically.
You're right. I should have played. Do you know the time code on where he says that?
No, I don't. But I think that's like, I think if you play it from here, you can kind of probably see kind of the angle I take here.
Yeah, damn. You should be running the show. You're right. I should have played the opening. But this is fucking brilliant. This is brilliant.
Hold it down. Let him get to it.
Do y'all believe in a parallel universe? I do not care. In high school, you lost hair, so I know that you hurt inside. But you're.
So you work that in right there. How soon before you say that do you know you're going to try that line?
I knew it going in. I got a little bit lucky that I know that most battles, and again, this is where all the prep comes in, because like I'm watching all of his battles, and I've been watching him for years. Like I know him really well. It's just like UFC. When if you have a UFC fight, you're studying your opponent. You know their moves, and you're trying to You're trying to create counters to it. So with Danny, I know he has this thing he does in a lot of his battles where he'll do this parallel universe thing, and so like for me, I'm like he's probably gonna do it. And even if he doesn't do it, enough people in the room will know what I'm talking about that it'll still work. But my hope was if I put this in the second round, he'll probably do it in the first. Or if he does it after I do it, it'll kind of take the wind out of his sails with that.
Yes.
And so it's kind of that thing where I'm like, I'm guessing you're going to do this. And it works out. And so, yeah, it does feel like a rebuttal. But it's not. It's just all. It's kind of a little bit kind of like magicians, where like they'll just. It's not magic. It's just a lot of planning and a lot of just kind of strategy. And so, yeah, yeah, that was all just kind of like, all right, what's he gonna do, and how can I make him look stupid for doing it? And to me, I've always said the way to win a rap battle, to me, definitively, is if you can change the way the audience sees your opponent. If your audience walks away looking at your guy differently than when they walked in, then it's like, yeah, that guy clearly won, because like I'm not going to look at his opponent the same way again. And so for me, it's finding those things that everyone loves when Danny says the parallel universe stuff. But for me, I'm like, I'm just going to be like, bro, so like my hope was the next time he says like, do you believe in a parallel universe? And everyone says, I do. Some people that saw this battle are going to kind of think, I do not care, and kind of have that thing that kind of stays with them and kind of ruins that move from this point on in his career.
It's brilliant. There was a show on TV called Mad Men, and I watched the whole season, and there's only two things I remember about it. There was a redheaded secretary that had huge tits, and I'll probably like remember her until I die. And then there was a line where the main character was in an elevator and the elevator was going up. And this person's yelling at the main character. He's like, you know what I think of you? And he starts every line, you know what I think of you? I think. And then when the elevator doors open and the main character who's getting berated walks out, he goes, you know what I think of you? And the guy goes, what? He goes, I don't.
Hmm.
And that
Yeah.
stuck with me. I was like, holy shit, I didn't see. And that's that kind of moment there. When you
Mhm.
did that to him, I was like, holy shit. You decimated him.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of strategy going in. Yeah,
That's the
it's
point.
fun to do. Yeah. And again, that's why it sucks. A lot of these guys battle so often. And when you battle every other weekend, you're just not taking the time to research your opponent very much at all. And it just makes it hard to beat someone like me who, like, for the past month, like, dude, I've been studying you for a long time. I really want to I want to embarrass you. I want to really hurt you emotionally. Um, and you're just kind of coming in here for a paycheck. And like, this is not what I'm about at all. And so I've had a lot of battlers that I've wanted to battle, and they just explained to the league owner, like, dude, I'm not trying I don't want to try that hard. And like, I like, why would I battle Anderson when I could get paid the same to battle someone who's not going to take it seriously, and not try to kill me? Because I'm trying to kill people, not like literally kill people, but I'm trying to really embarrass them and make them regret battling me. Just what I think that battle rap should be. It should be competitive. It should be like, I'm coming for your throat, and you know, you're going to be doing the same thing to me. Just like when you get the best battles, like, battle rap sucks when it's just two friends because they're not taking it seriously, and so I think that's what it needs to be.
What about no shows? What about you prep for someone
Mm.
like a UFC fight, you know, and then the guy has an ankle injury or has breaks his toenail? Like, have you ever had that where you prep like crazy and someone no shows you?
Yeah, it's like the worst thing ever. And that thankfully that's happened very few times to me. It does happen a lot. Like, it's a big problem where it'll just be someone, they just don't care and they just don't show up and they don't tell anyone. They just don't show up that day.
Oh
And
shit. That
oh yeah, 'cause you,
they basically got scared.
or they just don't care. They're like, like, because typically how it works for battlers is you'll get paid your first half when the like, because you'll have contracts most of the time. So if you get a contract, you'll sign it and you'll get like 50% of what you're going to get paid for this battle. And there are people who are just big enough names that they know they can just take this first half and then just block the league owner's number and never hear from them again. And like, their you know, their reputation might take a hit, but at the end of the day, they're really good, so they can get booked again and again, and they can kind of do this a lot. And so it's it's really bad. It doesn't get called out nearly enough, and it does suck. It doesn't happen to me much because I really try to pick people that I know won't do that. And if they do that, I'm really known for like my promo videos because I can, again, I do the video stuff. I can. I can be really relentless, and if it happens, I'm so happy to make video after video just attacking you, and not making it a process, a thing that people will forget quickly. Um and and also, league owners can take legal action. It does happen occasionally, like, what, you know, they'll send a cease and desist out to the person and they could take them to court. But yeah, it does happen.
Meaning like, hey, if you're not going to fight me in this venue, I'll take it to the internet and I'll still use material on you on the internet, and it'll be all around how you no showed.
Yeah, and people will, that'll make people more aware of, like, oh yeah, this guy is scared to battle you, and it might not make him battle me, but it will be enough where it'll really take a hit. Like, your career, your
Right.
reputation will take somewhat of a hit, and I'll constantly bring it up. Like, I won't let it go, and yeah, that will hopefully be enough to do that. And it sucks because, like, for someone like me, when I write, all my material is really tailored to my opponent. Most people, when they write, it's kind of just generic stuff that can kind of apply to most people. But, like, you know, if Danny were to no show me, have this all this stuff about his kids, about this parallel universe. This is stuff that I've spent forever on. But if he no shows me, I can't reuse any of it because it's all tied into him. And that's the real risk that I run with writing so specifically for my opponent. But again, when they show up and I can battle them, the material hits so much harder because like they might be just doing like generic like white boy stuff to me, which doesn't really hit me because it can kind of apply to anyone. But man, if I really get to talking about how stupid your parallel universe thing is and how you have 10 kids and this stuff that is just for you, it hits a lot harder with both my opponent and the audience.
You ever think about doing a one man show or a play or like something that's 25-minute 25 minutes intermission, 25 minutes intermission, and fill a theater? I'm trying to think of who it was. I had a guy on recently who's a poet, little skinny Jewish dude out of New York, blowing up on Instagram. His thing that went viral on Instagram was him talking about two babies having a conversation in the mother's womb. Did you see that by any chance?
No.
He's basically talking about how two babies are having a conversation in the mother's womb. It's an old story, but the way he delivered it was great. And then when I had him on, he's like, yeah, I'm doing my second, one-man show. You ever thought about doing a one-man show?
I have not. No. Again, to me, it's gonna be so hard to drive me away from battle rap because it's everything that I love. Like doing a one man show would be fun, but I would just miss the rapping so much. And like you could
Or did
rap,
you
but
do
I
it? Yeah.
also
I was thinking like it would be like rap, like you would take a political situation or something that's in the social, pick like 3 topics. You know what I mean? Taylor Swift dating this football player, the P. Diddy case, the border, and you know what I mean? Just like 3 big issues, and then or 4 big issues, and kind of weave them into a social.
Yeah. Again, like I think that would be really interesting to do. But again, I would also miss the competition aspect, the feeling of 'cause I also like I box, like I love boxing.
Oh.
I don't do it like competitively and stuff, but I do it a couple times a week, and I love the idea of competing against someone and trying to hurt someone, and it's like mutual combat. Like we both agree to this. It's kind of everything, and also I love stand up. I love being funny. It's all the things that I love packed into one. And so I did like because I've been rapping for a very long time, and coming up like the first thing I went viral for was a response to the 13 Reasons Why Netflix show when that came out like in 2016 or 15 or whatever. And I did this thing. It got millions and millions of views, and it was a rap about mental health and mental illness. And I've struggled with depression and all these mental health stuff my whole life. And so I have done a lot of stuff before I really got into battle rap, tackling serious issues like mental health from my perspective. And I think that was really therapeutic to do, and it connected with a really big audience, and people connected to it a lot, and it was great. And I love doing it, but I think that I don't want that to be where I run to when I need to decompress. Like now, kind of my escape from depression and stuff like that is to take all the things I'm feeling and pour it into uh, battle rap and turning it into something kind of funny and entertaining versus really self-reflective, because like that does help me, but I feel like I get trapped in this thing where like when I was doing that, depression became like my identity, and I feel like that made my depression worse. Even though I was rapping about it, it just became more like, oh, this is who I am, this is why people connect to my art, and if I lose this depression, if I become less depressed, my art will suffer. And so you almost don't want to get better, you want to still feel all this stuff because this is like where your identity comes from. And I felt like that wasn't really healthy. So I want to find stuff more in the realm of like making people laugh while still having like some anger and like actually yelling at people and making people feel bad and kind of bullying people. But it's all totally like we're all fine. No one feels like it doesn't hurt anyone's mental health doing it. So it's again, it's always it's gonna be hard to pull me out of the battle rap niche. I definitely think I should expand from it and find other stuff to do, but it'll always be kind of the thing that I love doing the most.
Are you on any medications?
I stopped when I started doing boxing. I actually I started boxing because I was going to do a rap battle when I was coming up. And I knew if I battled this guy and I talked about things that he doesn't want me to talk about, he was going to swing on me. He said, if you mention this, I'm going to swing on you. And
No
I was
shit.
like, yeah, and I was like, I should learn how to fight. And so I stupidly just joined a boxing gym thinking I could like learn how to fight in like a week. And the battle never happened, but I did start really loving the feeling of punching something. And so I was on like 9 or 10 different medications since I was like I put on Zoloft when I was 10 years old,
Holy
and
shit.
did and then on every single SSRI, every single medication for anxiety, depression, sleep, like ADD, everything, my entire life. And now I'm just on Adderall. And I think it comes from just really taking my health serious. Like you were saying, CrossFit, like I'm sure that's a huge help for you. And for
Huge.
me, really getting, making sure that I am exercising every day has been huge for me. Because if I don't, I feel that depression really kind of creep back in. And so I think it's staying active, and then it's just doing something I love, which is it is battle rap, and I love the confidence it gives me because just confidence is something everyone struggles with, and when I get to be up on stage, I don't really feel like I'm being confident, but it is fun. It's nice hearing from like you that confidence is an attribute because if you knew me growing up, that would be the last thing anyone would know me for is confidence. Like I'm the most insecure person in the world, but it's fun to get up on stage and still play a version of yourself, but it's the most confident version of yourself. So those things I think have been really helpful for me in overcoming depression. It's just been exercise and finding a purpose that you really enjoy doing.
You know, I have this visualization like, um, uh, if someone says something and I picture, like, your brain is this circle, and if someone says something that bothers you, it comes in and it hits something. Normally when people say
Mhm.
something, it just pass right through you, right? So if
Mhm.
someone said, "Hey, you have a big nose," that should hurt until you're like 25, and at some point you just have to accept that, and that's not who you are, and you transcend that, and it just goes through you. Things just
Yeah.
go through you. You know what I mean? And if something hits you, that it's almost like a gift because you're like, "Okay, I need to work on that. I need to let that go." And um uh it's interesting that you put yourself as someone who's insecure. Insecurity is the same thing as kind of confidence. It's a luxury. Insecurity is kind of like, this is gonna be a little extreme what I'm saying, but it's kind of like narcissism. It's a luxury to be insecure, meaning you're holding on to things that you just don't want to let go of, right? Because like
Mhm.
if like when you're boxing, you can't be insecure. Like you're out there, you're focusing on your breath, you got to be moving. Or if we lived 400 years ago, you couldn't be insecure because you got to go out right now and find out what the family is going to eat tonight. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
kind of like this quality that's come with modern man, and yet you put yourself on stage for someone to point out your insecurities, and so it's only like I could totally see how it's therapy. Like you'd be like, okay, that one hurt. When I go back to home, I'm gonna work on that one and let that go. So that never like you're empowered to go home and be like, I can let that go. So that never hurts again.
Yeah, absolutely. I battled Marlowe this like earlier this year, and he was another white guy from the UK, and we're good friends, but we really attack each other. And he had probably one of my favorite angles ever used against me, which was no one really brings up like the depression and stuff because no one really does research on me. But he had a great angle because he really researched me, and he was like, he's like, how come you do like these violent bars about stabbing people and shooting people when like you used to cut yourself? How are we supposed to believe you could take someone else's life when you can't even end your own? Like you're
Wow.
the
Yeah.
easiest target, and that's a hilarious, such a great angle that I've thought about that a lot. 'Cause I've always like if I battle myself, what will be the angle? That's like the main angle. It's just such a funny way to take a very serious topic and make it so funny while also making me look stupid. And I think that's my favorite thing about battle rap is you can take something really serious and make it funny, and it hurts. Like it hurts hearing that, but it's funnier than it is offensive. And I really appreciate that stuff because it is kind of like healing. It's something like, well, yeah, we can joke about this. You can't joke about this anywhere else except for stand-up comedy and battle rap. And so I think stuff like that is a great way to move past stuff that in the past has been, really traumatic.
Uh, Bud Crawford and Canelo. Are you a boxing fan also?
I know who Canelo is, and I don't know. I've not heard of Bud Crawford.
Holy shit, dude. He's so good. Anderson. He's so good. This is gonna be crazy. This is September 13th. This is gonna be
Uh-huh.
like the footwork of these guys. This is gonna be something of the ages here. This is and Canelo might be past his prime. I don't know about Bud. Bud's undefeated. This is gonna
Isn't
be
Canelo
nuts.
too?
No, I think Canelo. I know Canelo lost against Mayweather, and I think I
Oh
think he
yeah, that's
fought a
right.
guy. I think he fought a guy like 3 weight classes above him once, some Ukrainian guy, and he lost on points. But this is going to be nuts, dude.
That's awesome.
If you like the art of the pugilist art of boxing, you are gonna love this. Everything is gonna be beautiful. Their head movement. I mean, these guys are artists. This is gonna be nuts.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Boxing is one of those things that I'm so glad the UFC, sold to Paramount, because like it's always been that hurdle of the pay-per-views and stuff to me. I don't love it enough to spend the subscription amount for like DAZN and stuff. And so, but if there is like a card with people that I can recognize, then I'll typically look into getting it. But
This one's going to be amazing. This is going to be the best fight of our lifetime. I mean, two guys like this don't come together very often. This is like a Mayweather Canelo fight back in the day.
That's awesome. Okay, yeah, I will definitely check that out then.
What does he think of Eminem's battle skills?
Oh yeah, I mean that's kind of where everyone gets their start, at least like white guys. I mean, I knew what battle rap was because I downloaded the Eminem rap battles from 8 Mile off of LimeWire as a kid, and would just listen to those repeatedly. And so yeah, I mean I don't know how Eminem would do in today's, like if he were to actually battle rap in the acapella format. But it's so, as a white rapper, you always have this hesitancy to really praise Eminem because it feels so it's just so predictable. But I mean, I'm one of those guys that like he's just so good that I almost get mad because I'm like I have to once again sound like the typical white rapper who loves Eminem. But I mean, dude, like from a technical standpoint, what he does, like his newest album is just unfathomable when you consider he's a literal grandfather and he's rapping at the level he's still rapping at. And when it comes to battling, I think he'd be really good. But unfortunately, it's kind of that thing where battle rap has changed so much since the early 2000s that it would be a big adjustment for him to make to get into the ring and do angles and stuff. I think it'd be fascinating to watch, but yeah, I think it's just a little bit different than when he was doing it. But it'd still be really cool if he ever tried it. And also his diss tracks like MGK, the kill shot, like his on beat, he's like almost untouchable. And so on a beat is completely different. I think he's one of the best ever.
So you think he beat Machine Gun Kelly in that? You give it to
Yeah, 100%. Oh, do you think Machine Gun Kelly won that one?
Oh, I thought he destroyed him. Like I would listen.
Really?
And the reason why is because this is really shallow and superficial from someone who has no musical skills.
Yeah.
But I would listen to the Machine Gun Kelly song, and I wouldn't listen to the Eminem song after I heard it. You know what I mean? Like the Machine Gun Kelly song. And I love the video how he's just eating out of, you know what I mean? And he's got the shovel and shit, and just the one shot nature of the take. You know what I mean? He's just like it's super high quality but super low budget. And I just love the lyrics about him like being talking about like his hero turned into a crybaby. I just really liked it. Yeah. But maybe
he did incredible.
Maybe from a presentation, maybe the rapping was better than Eminem does. I don't know really how to judge that. But I would listen to the Machine Gun Kelly song just as a song to listen to.
Yeah, it's such an interesting thing when something like that happens because I heard his diss, Machine Gun Kelly's diss, is so listenable and it's fantastic. Like he did amazing. He's one of the most he's one of the most overhated people in rap to me. He did fantastic. It's probably the best competition Eminem's ever gotten. But I think that what M does, it's just, and I'm just a nerd when it comes to, it's the multisyllabics, the way he stacks, he rhymes words. So like so much of the word will rhyme with so much of the next word, and he'll do it in a way that, just as someone that also does this, I'm so impressed with how he keeps this cadence and the stuff he's saying. And I'd rather be 80-year-old me than 20-year-old you. Something like that. That's so like, oh my gosh, that's such a hard bar to to me. I'm like, that's you can't say anything to that. But I think that I can totally understand your perspective by enjoying the song more, and it is definitely a more enjoyable, listenable song. So just like battle rap, it's whatever you prefer.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, it's the song's Rap Devil.
And Kill Shot.
Yeah, and this is the
we can get good. You'll size up your body and put some white chalk around it. Hello, Marshall. My name's Colson. You should go back to recovery.
God, he is so skinny, dude. He is
so
skinny.
Yeah. It's
Oh
gotta
my
be weird to
goodness.
battle someone like Eminem because like it's just so clearly like he's kind of the reason you exist. Like it's gotta be a hard hurdle
He
to get
he
past,
kind
you
of
know?
admits that though too. He's like, "You used
Yeah,
to be my hero," right? And it's like,
yeah.
what about Kendrick? I don't. I'm not a Kendrick Lamar fan at all. Are
Mm.
you a Kendrick Lamar fan?
Yeah, I've been a Kendrick Lamar fan for for a very long time, but it was this battle with Drake that made me really buy into the hype. I've always felt like To Pimp Butterfly, his albums are just not are not geared towards me, and that's like totally fine. I can't pretend to just obsess over it like a lot of his fans do. But man, when that battle with Drake happened, Drake is a huge supporter of battle rap, and so I'm a big Drake fan. I think
I'm a huge
for
Drake fan. I think
yeah.
once again, more listen. Maybe I don't know who's the better artist. I think Drake's way more listenable than Kendrick.
Yeah, and
Like, I
that's
feel
that's
like
that's
Kendrick's almost pretentious. I feel like people who like him almost have to like him because it's like, I really appreciate that Picasso. I'm like, all right, good on you.
Yeah, it is the fan base makes it harder to like him. I think probably the same with Eminem. I think Eminem has a very annoying fan base, and I'm part of it. But like I think that for Kendrick, it's the same thing where like he says something or he does something, and like I don't get it, but people will act as if like you're an idiot for not getting it, and I'm like I don't think you get it either. I think it's just that thing that it's just
Right.
that
Right.
like naming Kendrick is it says a lot about you as a person and like your intellect, and for me, I'm like. I just don't get it. But then when the battle happened, I was such a fan of the way he approached it, and I loved how Drake did. I don't think I've ever been happier, honestly. Like that 4 or 5 month span of them trading, or I guess like a couple months of them trading disses back and forth. I woke up every day like it was Christmas. I was just so
Oh,
freaking
that's
excited.
awesome.
I
That's
mean, it's
awesome.
like because it's like my favorite. It's the Canelo Mayweather thing, except it just
Yeah.
happens back and like I'm like this is everything I could ever want in life, and it's just the level they're rapping at is so good. And yeah, the downside is that like I feel like every other rap beef from this point on is just gonna suck because it's like it's just nothing close to Drake and Kendrick. That'll like probably never happen again. But man, the music we got out of that, and from as a battle rapper and as a huge fan of hip hop in general, I was in heaven.
Uh, they were both inspired.
Yeah, yeah, and like, how could you not be? Like, you're battling, the other biggest rapper in the world. Like, it's the perfect clash of two very different styles that are done at the best, highest level.
What about Harry Mack?
Oh yeah, Harry Mack's amazing. He's someone that you know I, I do a lot of freestyle and stuff too. That's like what I was doing a lot of in college. um and watching him do it, it's just there's just such a different level to his ability with that. It's so impressive, and I think he's doing things that the average person doesn't pick up on. But again, it goes back to the way he's able to switch his cadence. And he doesn't when most people are freestyling, they'll have these crutch phrases that they rely on. They'll they'll be saying uh, you know, it's unbelievable, and that when they say it's unbelievable or something like that, they're just saying a phrase they constantly repeat because they're trying to think of the next line. When Harry Mack freestyles, he has none of that. It's like a stream of consciousness where it feels like it's pre-written, but it's just not. And he's just worked so hard at this craft that like he can just freestyle, and there's no indication that this is like getting made up on the spot, and it's so impressive.
It's crazy. There was a video I watched with my kids a few years ago as my introduction to him, and there's a line like for a restaurant or a concert, and he just walks down the line and serenades each person with a
Mhm.
with a rap that addresses their persona that they're presenting, and it was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's so impressive, and also just the balls it takes to do it. Because again, when you're a white guy and when you hit that 25, that 30 range, man, it's never really cool to be a white rapper. But man, when you start getting into like that, like your friends are getting married, you need to have like a real long-term career, and like your friends are having kids, and you're just in the studio just crank it. You're still the high school rapper that's still rapping.
Yeah.
Man, it is hard to have any type of confidence with telling people that's what you do.
And
And
he was probably gray haired at like 17, to be honest, Harry Mack.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And so, but I think it's just I love watching someone like that who knows he's so good and he can win over anyone who when they hear oh, I'm a rapper. When you hear a white guy say I'm a rapper and you have gray hair, your first thought is like, oh man, this is gonna be sad. And I think he just knows he's gonna win. He can win over anyone, and that's a really fun thing to kind of see. And I kind of feel like I have some of that with with battle rap and stuff. It's fun telling people that's what I do because they just can't believe it. And but I know I have the catalog to show them and go like, no, it's like it's not as cringy as you think it is. I promise you, there's some merit here, and like that's kind of the fun of sticking with something long enough to the point that it should be cringy, but you kind of reach a level where I don't think it is anymore.
You definitely I mean, I haven't followed your career more than 2 months, but you've definitely, from going back and watching your stuff, you've transcended the novelty of being the 6'4", size 15.5 shoe white guy. I mean,
Okay.
because people are definitely scared, and you're definitely destroying people, and it's gone from like being white as a crutch to like it's just cool. It's really cool. This is going to sound crazy, but one of the greatest freestyles I've ever seen, and I haven't seen a lot, probably more than most, but not even 1% of you, is when Little Dicky went on Breakfast Club. You ever see this?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And I was like, holy shit. Let me see if I got it in the right spot.
Yeah, you got OCD.
I have gone for blindness, which is what I probably
Jesus Christ.
hypotheticalized. You know what I mean? Like I started rapping because of that. Yeah, of course.
Oh, geez. I don't
Love
even
to
know
use my platform to do.
Oh, maybe it's
I think
not
this might be
even-
the interview. Yeah.
Introduce myself.
Anyway, I apologize. There's a line in there where he says he's going to bend over Michelle Obama.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that
Yeah.
line?
Yeah. Oh yeah. In a year. Yeah. Yeah. It's phenomenal. But even
They
with that
lose
though,
their shit. It's three black women and this transgender guy's Charlemagne, and he's saying off-color jokes like he's gonna bend over, and I'm assuming, I'm projecting, but that they're huge like Obama supporters and they love Michelle, like they think she transcended some shit. Is that dangerous that he did that, or inappropriate?
No. I think you got to know your audience, and you gotta know people are adults, and as long as you're saying something with like, I think you got to know the line, and I think most people can kind of guess where it is. That's definitely like on the line, but also like it's not a free. It's so funny. The freestyle is an interesting term because like what Harry Mack does is a freestyle. It's off the top of the head. What Lil Dicky does is also technically a freestyle because it's a verse that can be applied to different beats. But like it's
so
not off the top.
he didn't come up with all of that?
No.
Oh,
That's actually
shit.
off
Okay.
of his album. He it's a
Whoa.
song on his album. But you can take that verse and apply it to different beats, and you could call it a freestyle. But again, that's like why it's still so impressive. It's so impressive. But that's why to me, Harry Mack is so impressive because his stuff really is off the top of the head, and it sounds like he's written it. And so there's just a huge difference in what Harry Mack does versus what other rappers do.
Is Harry Mack in a league of his own? Does he have any?
When it comes to freestyling options, but also like I don't think he can make an album or I don't think he can write a verse the same way Lil Dicky can. I think Lil Dicky's a much better writer than Harry Mack, but Harry Mack's skill isn't in writing; it's in the ability to improv.
Okay, here we go.
Two-time list. Hold up, MJ 96. Meaning I'm back on my bullshit. You know I come hard like a full dick. Suburban and white. Yeah.
Oh, this might not even be it either. Has he been on the show more than once?
This is a different show, and so this is also
Jesus,
another.
I'm really
But
I'm really
again, but all of them are fantastic.
Yeah. Anyone you listen to every day?
Oh, not every day. I think it depends on like who has the album out that I really like to listen to. But no, I mean I'm a big fan of Kendrick, big fan of Drake. Whenever they drop, I'll listen to that a lot. Eminem, same way. And then like the Clips just dropped an album, and like I've been listening to that repeatedly. And Yeah, and also I love the when people go on the radio and they do freestyles like Lil Dicky did, because to me I just love lyrics, and I love hearing bars that I wish I had written, and I get that most often with like the radio freestyles that are just kind of like the focus is on lyricism. It's not on the hook, it's not on the beat, it's just on like saying things that make people like me react to it. And so yeah, I love that type of stuff.
Hey, dude. It's funny. I didn't even get to your history. I'd love to have you back on again. I'll be watching.
Dude, anytime.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Yeah, I'm so curious. It's funny because the whole I lay out the podcast. Let's start when you were a little kid and where you were born. Never even got to any of it. You're such a great conversationalist. I appreciate you geeking out with me and explaining the ABCs of battle rap to us. And I'll be staying in touch. It's great.
Absolutely,
Maybe next time you have your big screen.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. And dude, this has been easily one of the most professional podcasts. And I've not done a ton of them, but I really respect the amount of research you did leading up to this. And it's very refreshing to talk to someone like you. You had a lot of great questions that I've never been asked before. So I really, really appreciate that. And I'd be more than happy to come back on whenever you want me to.
Yeah, I'm very curious what your family and your girlfriend thinks. We'll have to do a part 2.
Yeah.
All right,
Absolutely,
brother.
man.
When do you
Thank you.
When do you compete next? When's the next competition?
It should be I should be battling in London at the end of September. And so that'll be another one that we drop in on my channel. I'm trying to
Will
get
that
that
be
one.
live anywhere? We can see it.
No, it's not. It's not live. Again, I like to go in and send it to a guy to mix the audio and make sure it
Okay.
looks as good as possible. And yes, I'm going to try to do probably 2, maybe 3 more battles this year. And just kind of, yeah, I want to battle more frequently. And so, yeah, so hopefully in September I'll be battling someone that is, it's not been announced yet, but it's a very interesting person for me to battle, and it's no one else is like this battler, and so it'll be a really interesting kind of style clash. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out.
All right. And as El Padrino 69 says, adios, white boy. Find you a big booty Latina.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
Appreciate it.
brother. Have a good day.
Thank you, man.
Anderson Burrus. Fuck, I love him. Wow. Yeah. Sevy's been trying to be professional for a while. I almost took offense to that. I'm gonna have to check my ego. All right, guys, I gotta prepare. 24 minutes. I'll be back. Rich Froning will be on. Let's find out what he knows about the sale of the company, what he thought about the CrossFit Games, what's going on with his knee, all that fun stuff. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.